So we ended last game with the party having successfully surprisingly defeated the Rotting Winds. I mean, it was a painful battle, but you got to keep in mind in order to kill them, you had to deplete that resource pool or have it shut off, which was accomplished by Kashoot and some really lucky rolls, to be honest. Skilled, but lucky as well. And as I showed you before, consistent with this game's, the makers of this game's inability to show consistency, they're consistently inconsistent. This is what they say that area looked like, even though it's nothing like the entire area that they described. So, I just share
It's
that
like
with
in
you
the
for
middle of a
fun.
coliseum.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid.
You know, it is entertaining to say the least. But at the end, after you killed the Rotting Winds and you've freed the majority of the necrotic energy, pardon me, caught me in a yawn, a creature manifests. It is semi-humanoid, partially translucent, and it seems to be using the energy as well as the vapor clouds from the core there, within the core, to communicate and give itself form. It calls out in your mind using telepathy, and it says, "Well done. I thank you for freeing me. I have been here longer than I can count.
That is a long time.
You are entitled to ask any questions you may have, and I will do my very best to assist you in repayment for your assistance."
What are you?
The voice in your head says, "I am Al Avri. I am what you likely have been known as a sky spirit, or at least half a sky spirit. In reality, we were known as the patrons. I, unfortunately, was mid-transit along the weave in the lattice at such a time as the Tears of Eternity ruptured, trapping me here for the last many thousand years."
That is unfortunate.
I believe your mic may be up. He says, "This planet has been devastated but is beginning to heal." And a small orangish, fainter wave of energy radiates out from the column and washes over everyone. And you've become accustomed to it since you've entered the planet of Writhes, but you feel cleaner. And you seem to have been washed clean of whatever corruption you had stepped through when you entered Writhes and had been blocking you from using your boon of the patron. You now have access to the boon of the patron again.
Hooray!
Nice.
If you don't recall, the boon of the patron is something you can apply to yourself that will give you a 1d6 onto your attack, save, or check. And he says, You likely have gathered some information, but I will answer your questions before I must re-enter the lattice.
How do we spell
Where-
this guy's name again, real quick?
I'll type it out.
So, did you say that the planet is starting to heal now?
The voice says, yes, the corruption from the tears of eternity are being purged, and life is being restored to the planet.
Because we defeated the foul winds.
You sense condescending, but not in an insulting way, more of a very powerful creature talking, and he says, no, you have assisted in the freeing of me, but the healing of the planet was unrelated to the rotting winds. The healing of the planet is a natural process that is many eons in the making, but it is reaching a point of inflection where the purging of the corruption is sufficient to allow the healing energies to begin to break through.
Isn't this contradicting everything that we've experienced so far on Rise?
Are you asking, or are you asking me? Because I'll need to know what you're referring to if you're asking me.
Didn't we doom this planet?
Well, we didn't really doom the planet, I don't think. I mean, we doomed that area because that egg was destroyed, because the egg is what was keeping that area.
Giving it life, yes. So it isn't contrary per se. A lot of the energies you've experienced were radiation based and they were overwhelming, but they were also life giving. And as Kashyut said, that egg only had a small range, or at least a limited range. It wasn't the whole planet.
Oh, okay.
So you're aware of these devices that are causing the plant life growth, but when you're too close to it, or you're, hypothetically really close to one when it explodes, the radiation is so concentrated it's deadly,
Ouch.
as one of your party members discovered.
He's fine.
He's not, but
He's in a better
The-
place.
Al-Avery says, many thousands of years ago, we placed the Tears of Eternity in addition to the gates. The Tears of Eternity were terraforming devices that would render the weather hospitable, the plant life verdant and abundant, and bestow upon living creatures long life and, in some cases, reincarnation. But the principalities corrupted the Tears of Eternity. In doing so, the Tears of Eternity that were terraforming and life-giving devices began corrupting, sowing disease and death and draining life from the planet, poisoning the seas, ending the rains, withering the crops, causing earthquakes to rack the land. Many of them exploded. Those that survived were corrupted. When we built them, they have a self-purging mechanism, but it takes a very long time. They have begun to purge more corruption exponentially, and now their original life-giving essence is breaking through. Unfortunately, Rise became a planet casualty in the war. In addition to that, the corruption shut off all the gates, and we were unable to come to their rescue. You do not seem native to this planet, according to your genetic code.
No.
Who or where are you from?
We're from Faerun. How can we get back? And where can we get more Opus Eterna?
Ala Avri says, the Opus Eterna is an artifact that at one time was completely assembled and contained a massive amount of knowledge that allowed us to repair and replace much of our technology. Unfortunately, I sense some of it here with you, but the original inhabitants of this land, were unaware of what it is, and after the cataclysm many thousands of years ago, the Opus was broken. When fully constructed, there are 99 pages.
Oh, wow.
Are there any pages or pieces of it here in this complex?
Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. Certain cunty dogs, my mother's fucking cunty dogs, peed under my desk, and I thought I wondered what my chair hit, and I touched the floor, which put my hand directly in piss.
Ew.
Awesome.
There's a strong degree of hatred right now. So I would like to wash my hands real quick.
Oh yeah, go right ahead.
Okay.
Yep.
I can still talk. I just wanted you to know that it was going to be a second. What was your question? I apologize, Eddie.
Are there any pieces or fragments of the Opus here in this complex besides what we have?
There's a delay before he responds, in which he says, no, but I can tell you the exact location of the remaining repository of Opus Eterna pages. There are 2 repositories. The majority of the fragments of the Opus Eterna are located far to the north, of course, and a few others are located far to the north and west. There are sufficient enough to piece them all together. They will automatically reconnect. Of the ones, including that you have, you will be able to reassemble all of them. I will be able to assist you before I leave, using transport among the lattice to take you to 2 locations. It's at that point Kedri enters from the back area. He seems to have intentionally or unintentionally been receiving this same telepathy because it apparently was going out to the entire area. He's wounded. He's still desiccated, but you know. And he says, I know of one other monastery far to the north. That I had been told existed in the mountains. And in my research, I heard of a new monastery, unlike the others, that had been formed in recent years to the north and northeast. Ala Avri says there are, of the 99, there are 87 pages broken into multiple fragments to the north and east, and there are the remaining to the north and west.
So northeast and northwest.
Correct.
Well, then I guess we should get going.
The fragments to the north and east, the larger collection seems to have spurred a extreme verdant overgrowth of plant life.
Okay.
Say plants?
Correct. Plants.
Oh, that
And-
sounds like a fun place.
Kedri
That way?
says he will need to rest before he's able, but he is willing to go to the north and west by himself, as he has heard good things about the monastery to the northwest in the mountains. He knows nothing other than there is a new monastery to the north and east, and he will go to the north and east if you want him to, but he doesn't want to go alone because he doesn't know enough about it.
Well, I think we should go together. More chance of survival.
I agree. More cannon fodder. Less that I have to deal with.
Oh, is Mars with us?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, this piece of bitch. Kedri disagrees with Kazu. He thinks that splitting up is likely the best way. This is not a friendly planet. But the monasteries seem to, for the most part, have been harmless or helpful. But if splitting up and traveling via this teleportation method that this, he isn't sure what to call it, entity is willing to provide, the trip from the far northeast would probably be significant if you had to travel from one of the monasteries to the other, as opposed to going into both and then meeting back here or near here.
Well, alright. Well, whatever.
It's your decision. You guys are the He's just expressing his opinion. Al Avri can wait for everybody to take a long rest and recover their wounds from the fight that freed him. But after he sends you where you want to go, he will depart the planet.
Audrey said he didn't, or Kedri, sorry, which said he doesn't want to go by himself, so we'd have to split the party with him. Basically.
He doesn't want to go to the northeast by himself. He's willing to go to the northwest by himself because he knows and has already made contact and gathered information about the monastery to the north and west. The monastery to the north and east is fairly new, whereas every other monastery you guys have come across has been centuries, if not thousands of years old.
And there's more pieces than the one to the northwest.
East.
Okay.
Seems to be an extremely large collection. Like more than half of the entire book.
So we could just send Kedri, I always want to say Kedri over to the northwest that he's familiar with, and we can go get the new ones.
It's up to you. That's just his suggestion.
Hopefully it goes better than the last time we split up.
No, we'll just have to save his worthless piece of shit
Right,
ass again.
Escalate it quickly.
Facts are facts.
Fair.
Yeah. If he's willing to do it, I don't see why not. The faster we get out the pieces, the faster we can get out of here.
I agree.
Indeed.
And we'll be getting more at the majority of them. Completely fine with that.
The sooner we get off this rock, the better.
But first we should rest.
Yes,
Excuse
I'm
me.
tired.
Does anybody have any questions before the creature goes dormant? While you rest.
I think I'm good.
Trying to think. Don't think so. Feel like Estrella is gonna be really sad that she missed this one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna have a bunch of retroactive questions.
That's fair. If there are questions, I'm sure she'll be able to ask them. Well, I will apply a long rest.
I was just gonna ask for those of us who have lowered maximum hit points.
After the long rest, they go back to normal.
Woohoo!
What was your max?
Before I leveled up, it was 55.
But did you add?
I think you'd reset them though last time before.
I believe I did as well.
I'm just gonna double check that my hit points should be what they are, but I'm pretty sure they're correct.
Should be plus 10.
Then yeah, we're good to go.
Alright, so nobody else has questions for the entity who is answering questions.
Not that I can think of.
How can I
Fine.
be all powerful? How do I become all powerful?
Does anybody else have any questions?
Damn
How do I become all powerful?
Oh shit.
it.
Does anybody else have any questions?
How do I become all powerful?
And you're walking.
How do
No.
I?
Wait, this is how I become all powerful. I get it. I understand.
Put in the work. Alrighty. So what is the final plan? It's up to you guys. You can discuss it. You have two places. One to the far northwest that has a few enough fragments of the Opus Eterna to make a few pages, and a massive collection to the northeast. The one to the northwest with just a few pages seems to be a eons old monastery that seems to be withdrawn from most civilization. The one to the northeast is a brand new monastery in the last few decades, has 87 pages worth of fragments, which is hundreds of fragments. Because you guys only have a few pages, and some of those had to be constructed from fragments. And so it seems to be like a huge repository that they've been gathering in, or that's where they ended up, as well as a lot of plant life growth. You can all go together, you can go separate. It's up to you.
Go together.
Yeah, I kind of get the feeling that going separate just invites problems.
Nah, send Kedri on his own.
Yeah,
I'm
give him
fine
a
with-
chance to redeem himself.
I'm fine with Kedri going to the one by himself and then us going to the other
Alright.
one.
It's gonna get in our way anyways.
Nothing bad
Yeah.
ever happens to Kedri.
That's what I'm saying. We're gonna have to save his ass anyways, so fuck it.
Alright. So it seems like the party's split, so when you guys make a final decision that you wish to relay to the creature, the entity, let me know.
I mean, I'm basically just along for the ride anyway. I don't really care one way or the other. I didn't mean to
Throw
cut
a
you
vote
off.
up.
Indeed, throw a vote up. Don't act like you don't know how to throw a vote up, Mal.
I
I do.
actually don't.
/vote space options.
No.
Well, the option that you're voting on. Give me a second. All right, so I
Just
gotta make
bullied
it quick.
causing a no decision.
I gotta put us on a 5-minute break, and I will be right back. And so then we will resume with apparently the bullying of Kazu.
Well, Kedri can go by himself, but Azu likes the rest of the party. Except Mars.
Nobody likes Mars.
Mars can fuck all the way off, apparently.
Everybody hates Mars until it's time to fight.
Yep. And he fucking one shots the goddamn stinking cloud things.
Oh, by the way, Tony, I managed to look in on some items and stuff. I was able to move over a infusion for both my breastplate armor and my repulsion shield, as well as the repeating shot crossbow. We don't need to mess with the character sheet or anything.
I broke it. No, I didn't.
Uh-oh.
Haha.
Everyone hath returned. Oh, there's an X. Someone came back to say they weren't back.
It was me.
Meanwhile, I went downstairs, had a missed call, but I went downstairs to get the Swiffer and Swiffered my office. Fucking dogs. Alright. So the decision was fuck Kedry. I mean, not really. He's more than happy. You
Yeah,
guys
he didn't
split
want to
up
be with us
before.
anyways. Fucking guy.
So nobody had any questions. So the half patron or whatever he claims to be, Al Avri,
The gate builder.
the gate builder, the
Oh,
sky spirit.
I'll ask the question. I'll ask a question. Are there any questions we should be asking?
He doesn't know. He doesn't understand the minds of
Son of a bitch. Worth a shot.
worth a shot indeed. So
I'll ask him, how do we repair the gates?
the technical specification on how to repair the gates and redirect the gates are what is found within the Opus Eterna.
Right, but if he just tells us, we don't need to.
He doesn't know. The
Oh.
patrons wrote down this knowledge. He wasn't an engineer.
What was he?
He was a messenger, a
Oh.
diplomat.
Useless.
I mean, I thought it, but
Mars says it.
Mark said it.
See, Mars does have a purpose.
He says the quiet part out loud.
And the loud part louder.
Usually with the most insulting shit that nobody wants to say.
Yeah, somebody's got to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
If no one else has any questions, Kedri is the first to be sent away. Secretly killed. Just kidding.
Yeah, bitch.
And that is how the campaign ended. You walked into radiation. Oh shit, I didn't know mortal beings couldn't be irradiated. Too much radiation. So, the party is teleported and transported after having their finite amount of questions answered. And they find themselves finally reaching a point where they are blinded from the bright orange light. And as the orange light begins to fade, the smell of farmland and greenery is something that you become aware of. Behind you is a strait of water. And so you know, I am going to share this map and show you where you teleported. I think that's shared. I can't tell.
Yep.
So
I see it. Oh, I see everything.
I see
I see
everything.
I
everything.
see it all.
So if you zoom way out, I'm going to show you your journey. You started down here where you entered,
Holy shit, we went a long way.
traveled up this way. Then you split up. Kedri went this way to the Blue Barony. I like that trail of pings. I like how that looks. Are you guys able to see that too?
I have, yeah.
What'd you say, Eddie?
Nothing.
Oh, I thought I heard you say. You guys followed the canyon up here. Made some friends right here before traveling the rest of the way up the canyon to the halfling who tried to manipulate you with drugs, and then continued to Valit in the barony of Valit here. So from here, one of the monasteries is up here in the mountains. The other is up here. So your travel teleportation was from here to here. So that is where you are finding yourselves. As your sight returns, you're surrounded by lush land that features farms and orchards on plots of land that are almost perfectly equal in size. Each farm is growing a mixture of fruit, crops, some shrubs, decorative, like hedges type stuff, some beautiful flowers. There are cenotes and small streams that irrigate these plants, both running between the plots and then smaller irrigation through the plots. Even in Forgotten Realms and Faerun, this is a pretty abundant amount of farmland. The entire area, as far as you can see, is just plots after plots after plots, maybe occasionally broken up by a large body of water that is being used to irrigate. Some of the fruit trees are 15, 20 feet tall. Some of them are much smaller. Some of them are bushes. The abundance of plant life is staggering.
Kazu is happy.
Because she's gonna look around. There's gonna be bugs here.
Possible.
Possibly black bucks.
So a person who is wandering around walks over after a couple farmers seem to have noticed you appear, and as you're kind of standing there looking around, a human woman in a robe walks over and kind of looks at the party and says, "You seem confused as well as new."
Yes.
She gives like a short bow from the chest and before saying, "I am Gwinnett. Welcome to the Barony of the Bloom."
I like that name.
She says, "The Barony of the Bloom, by all accounts, is the most bountiful of the holdings of the entire peninsula. Thanks be to Saint Io and the gods' welcome grace." "I know not how you came, but may I ask why you have come to our barony?"
We're looking for the things that are beyond your comprehension. Show us your
Don't
source
really
of
like
power.
him.
She says, "Our source of power is the great Saint Io, a survivor of the cataclysm millennia ago. He invoked our rebirth on this island, teaching our ancestors how to irrigate the land, how to rotate crops, how to use the science to reap the bounty of the field. And he passed down holy instructions which we follow to this day, such as we never plant indoors. You leave your crops open to the sky so God can see and bless them. You harvest after the fourth blooming of the largest moon, and many more commandments that have helped us thrive. We now have more food supply than we can enjoy, and as such, we have begun being able to trade with the other baronies. That is the source of our power."
Where is this written instruction?
This information was handed down by word of mouth.
Uh, oh, irritating.
Like that Tyler takes a day off and Mars is the new spokesman.
It's not irritating, Mars.
No one else is talking.
There is more to power than just magic. There is plenty of power to be found in plant life.
I disagree. Wholeheartedly.
Well, you're close-minded like that.
I guarantee that their source of power is magic based and is keeping this land bountiful.
Sure works.
I think I only caught the end of that. Anyways, are you the leader?
She says, I am not. I am a simple emissary for the farmers. We are led by Abbot Rodolfo, the grandfather of Flowers, high priest of the monastery of St. Io. He is both our religious and political leader. A kinder, more benevolent soul has never ruled over the bloom.
You think we can possibly get an audience with this abbot? At all possible?
She says, you will have to make such a request at the monastery.
That's fair.
And where's that?
And she turns and she says, if you look there, and she points in the distance and up a path that leads out of the farmlands. It kind of winds up a little bit, not super far, but up on top of a fairly large section of the mountain, a large, massive hill at least, is a glass dome building. There's a building, but it also has a glass dome.
Mars just starts walking in that direction.
Thank you.
What about the rest of you?
I'll thank her and
Going.
Yeah.
We need to babysit Mars.
So she watches you guys walk and shrugs. She was going to offer a tour of the farms, but it doesn't seem like Mars wants one.
But Mars fucking hates this place already.
So as you guys are walking, you move through. You notice that there are mostly small houses. They're built from wood, so plants give them wood apparently. But you do see like every so far, maybe every couple thousand feet, there's a particularly sturdy house made with logs instead of boards. And it has numerous windows, and there are small seedlings planted. Like you can see inside the house because it has 4 doors, one on each of the cardinal points, as well as you're able to see in it, it's just chocked full of these seedlings, similar little small plants, maybe like a small greenhouse. As you continue going, you make your way up to the monastery, and you notice there are actually some farmers kind of gathering at the entrance to this large monastery. It looks like from where you're approaching, the monastery has 2 levels. So this first area as at the top of the hill, and then is at the top of this incline, and then there's a road that you can see leading up the hill behind it to a larger building at the top of another hill that's overlooking this one. The dome is at the top. And this group of people seem to be listening to someone talking. I'm going to send you a map. I am not going to populate the map with all the people because it's unnecessary to have that many things, but there's probably a good, 50, 60 people here.
Just more targets for Mars anyway, so.
So the building you're looking at has a number of triple rounded buildings, like silo-esque buildings with vine-like ivy and things of that nature. And there is I'll unlock the tokens. I hate that they're locked like that. The person they're listening to is giving a speech as the party approaches.
Sorry, whereabouts is the guy? Just up ahead.
Yes, I didn't put him on the map. I didn't expect you to try to kill him, but I can put him on the map.
I would
Can't rule
maybe
anything out
never.
yet, Tony.
Mars has never attacked anybody without cause yet. Except he does have a cause.
I'll
But,
leave that up
what-
to you.
What's the guy saying? I'm assuming it's the abbot making a speech to the people. What's the general sense of what he's saying?
So as you approach, the abbot, as you would guess, or someone, is giving a speech, and he's preaching about Saint Io and the plans for the rebirth of Rise and spreading the glory of the bloom across all of the peninsula, citing the surge of growth that they have seen so far and promising greater growth in the expanding outwards that he has divined from communion with God. The crowd is alternating between cheers and whispers, and he seems to be, giving this full speech. It's about 5-10 minutes. Here is a handy dandy photo.
Ugh, gross.
And as he finishes his speech, he is quickly waving to the people before turning and walking through that large door there into the center tower. And some of those monks you see with those red, I think, what are they called? Habits?
Yes.
There we go. They seem to stand guard outside of the building as the people start to disperse.
As the people start to file out, Mars will turn invisible. Hopefully doing it in the crowd to not raise suspicion.
Oh god, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah,
Never-
you can't just cast magic in the middle of a group of farmers and vanish.
Could do it.
Mario,
I'm using my
Now moving off into a different area, but yeah, you can't do that.
I could. It just might raise the alarms. Hold on.
Mars,
It's
you
just,
idiot.
I'm using my feet, so I'm not sure if I actually have to cast it. I think I do. Still. Yeah, okay. He'll go off to the side. Cast it.
Mars, where
Okay.
you going?
He does not respond. As soon as he breaks line of sight with most people, he'll turn invisible. For free.
Okay, what about the rest of you?
Well, we gotta go up to the abbot, right?
The abbot
Yeah.
turned around and went through that door after giving his speech.
Yeah. So I mean, we're gonna go up to the door.
Okay. I'm not gonna make your token invisible, Mars, for the obvious reason that you couldn't see yourself.
Yep. Makes sense. Is the door still open or is it closed?
Closed, and there are guards in front of it.
Damn it.
The farmers are heading back down. They seem to come up here for a speech and then head straight back down.
Mars will wait until somebody else starts talking to the guards.
So yeah, Techno's
Yeah,
just gonna like walk up and be like, "Hey there, hi there, oh there. Hey, so yeah, great speech, real riveting stuff. Just don't question here. Is there a possibility we can arrange a meeting with the abbot?"
So the monks kind of look at each other first, and then they turn to you guys. So this area is pretty beautiful. It's a rich carpet of grass. I mean, it's pretty. It seems pretty well groomed. In addition to that, but as you ask about that, the monks shake their head and say the abbot is too busy with preparations. Unfortunately, they are not able to have any private audiences, but they will be giving another speech in the next few days.
Oh, what's the preparations for?
Probably the speech. But yeah, I'm curious too.
They say that the preparations are related to the work of God, and they are not able to share that information with non-believers.
Oh, it's okay. I'm an alchemist.
They don't
Is this-
seem persuaded.
Does this look like a big creaky door?
It looks like a big creaky door.
Ah, shit.
What if I were to convert to your religion?
I was about to say, who's to say we're not believers?
As I just did.
I mean, yeah, we're out of town, but I mean, like,
They say they say that if you wish to come back at the next speech of the abbot, you can come back in a few days. And until then, work in the fields and the farms, and your request to worship Saint Io shall be heard by the abbot.
So work in the field. Shoot turns around.
a few days is a little nebulous. Can we get a more specific date? Never mind. I'm gone. I don't want to bother you.
I think Mars is still like while they were still talking to them, I'll try to sneak in.
The door's locked.
What
Ah, fuck.
what fields do we work in, or do
We
I
got
work in?
pickpocket.
They seem to be getting annoyed at Kazu asking questions after being given instructions twice, and the gate guards are starting to seem irritable.
I have thieves tools, and I think I'm proficient with them. Hold
It's almost like you guys don't know how to be in a religion.
on.
There's too many goddamn questions. Go to the fucking fields.
How do I do a thieves tools check for it to unlock this door?
Do you have thieves' tools?
I do have thieves tools, and I am proficient. At least Mars is, not Hazel.
So that is going to be a proficiency check. You can use dexterity in there as well.
While the guards are right there.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna try. I'll just use an acrobatics. Is that all right?
That'll work.
Actually, I'm not proficient in acrobatics, but hold
I see nothing. I know nothing.
on.
If he gets
Literally
caught,
see
it's
nothing.
not my
You
problem.
literally see nothing.
Yeah, to be fair, he is invisible with a 25 stealth.
That is
Yeah.
true, yeah. I'm just saying, if Mark
Or I'll
gets his
just add
ass
plus
caught,
3.
I disavow any knowledge of his existence.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Just add your proficiency to it.
That was my that did add it. in.
Oh, okay.
That is fair. So, let me. So you start pulling out some thieves' tools, and you need to give me a stealth roll to see how you did pick the lock. So that's one thing.
Another stealth roll. At
Yes.
advantage because I'm invisible. No, that's great.
Well, the first stealth roll is for moving. The second one is for just doing that one thing.
Oh, okay. Actually, I will. I have. Do I have magical guidance as this thingy? I think I do. I think that's just a sorcerer thing. Magical guidance is. Yeah. Okay, I can spend a sorcery point to reroll a d20 for an ability check. If you'll allow it.
A sorcerer point for a what now?
To reroll an ability check.
Sure, I don't see why not. If you have the ability, you must use it.
I have the ability. It's just not on Mars's sheet, it's on Hazel's sheet. That's okay. Oh, there's my.
Somebody's not keeping up.
Nope, that's worse. Shit.
Roll initiative.
Is this just track turns or?
Well, it depends. Is your name Mars? If your name is Mars, it is absolutely not to track turns. If your name is anything but Mars, it is to track turns unless you choose to get involved.
He's
But
still invisible. They don't know what he looks like.
How many monasteries are we going to be rudely rebuffed from?
Oh, I was just gonna.
Only to kill everyone on.
Okay, Mars gets to go first, so that's good. So he's gonna do that.
I mean, I'll roll initiative. That way, I'm at least in the order.
In case something happens, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll initiative for Estrella and Alzair, and then we're probably gonna call it before this turns into a shit show that is probably gonna turn
late.
into.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
How would
already
you
in
like
it.
to be Estrella, come back, miss talking to a patron, and in the middle of a fight trying to break into a monastery?
I
She's
can
gonna be
just imagine
so
the level of
pissed.
what the fuck she's coming into. Yeah.
It's Mars. Like, what do you expect, guys? Keep a tighter rein on him. Fuck, this is all your fault.
No. It's Estrella's fault for not being
Yeah.
here. She's
It's
the
it's
one that
Estre-
keeps. She's
Estrella's
the one
job
that
to
keeps
wrangle
the
you.
reins. Yeah, she's the one that reins you in.
I mean, to be fair, like you can see like the movement here. I'm like, Techno's just like he's just, yep, no, this is his problem. I wash my hands of this.
Right?
He-
Like we're not the ones that handle Mars. Like we're we're not
He got himself into this mess. He can get himself out.
That's fair. Well, we're gonna stop here so we don't go too far. I hate stopping in the middle of battle.
Well, actually, I'm going first, but this is
It
other
could
than Malzahar,
it could
I
not
guess.
result in battle, but we're not gonna.
It's most likely I'm just gonna cast darkness and then run away. So
We'll see how that falls. Now, bear in mind, being invisible doesn't mean you're undetectable.
Nope, I know.
So, that's all I need for this week. I hope everybody has a glorious week. We will resume next week and see how things shake out.
All right, sounds
Sounds
good.
All right.
Have a good one, guys. See you
good night,
next
everybody.
week.
Yep. Later, everyone.
Good game.
Gotta admit, I keep things interesting.
It's a game.
Yeah, that he does.